Hello, my brothers and sisters on the Dragon's Path. My name is Tim Heijen and I am a Dragon Witch. Welcome in the Belgian forest once more. I wish you would be here, my brothers and sisters. It would be such an amazing thing, to come together at last, to be together, to explore our dragons together. It would be amazing. It would be a dragon Sabbath. It would Dragon Witches Sabbath. How do you want to call it? I don't know. But you are always welcome in the Belgian forest where I do my rituals together. And when I decide to do rituals, it's not just because I have to do them, it's because I want to do them. I want to do rituals. I'm never forced to do something for the dragon. I always have to love whatever I'm doing. And that is also what you're supposed to do. You don't have to force yourself. Never force yourself. One of the major rules of being a dragon witch is never force yourself. Everything that you are doing is because you want it. You don't have to do. That is something for religions. Religions have to do, have to go to church, have to pray, have to do. We don't have to do anything. If you don't want to do anything, if you don't have time for it, then so be it. Because everything that you're supposed to do has to be and coming from your heart, coming from your desire, coming from your love. But there are moments that I just am drawn to the forest, not much more than even now. Of course, I love to do my rituals, but I prefer to do my rituals in the forest. And people call me crazy to go to the forest then, is when there is a dark sky. When there is a dark sky and when there is supposed to be rain. Because I do love the rain. I love the dark skies. I love it. It's like I'm connecting with nature in that way. Whenever there is a dark sky and rain in the air, it's like, yeah, I'm connecting with my dragon much better. Because there is something that you have to know about dragons. They are all connected very highly with nature. And everything that happens in nature, everything that happens, every change in nature, everything about it will change your connection with your dragon. And in 2005, 28th of November, on my birthday, um, that was my awakening. That was the moment, my birthday, 18th birthday, and that was the moment that I could discover my dragon for the first time. Maybe, if not the most perfect day in my life, because that was the moment that I discovered about the dragon. Nobody told me about the dragon, but I was awakened. The dragon was just like going inside of me and touching everything in my soul. I didn't even know that I had a soul, that I had one. Um, and I could very much feel it whenever the dragon was there. It was not just the dragon that was over there. It was touching my soul. And that was the moment that I could even see outside of my house. I could see the dark sky, very dark sky, and it was raining like hell. I remember it very much. It was raining, it was wet, it was a very violent storm even outside. And I could see that it was not at night and just night. It was just the clouds made it so dark, and I could see it in the same phrase as my dragon was over there, and next to it I saw the window and I saw the sky getting dark, and that was a very that feeling of being awakened is like being reborn again. So I will never forget what I've seen there. I've seen the dragon together alongside with the rain, and that is also what the dragon awakening could do. My senses were immediately opened. I had no senses. I could even smell and feel and connect with the rain, with the clouds, with nature in itself. And that is something that might not happen to you, but it happened to me. I could connect with the dragon. I fell on my knees whenever the dragon was there. But I was also looking at the sky whenever I was looking at the window. I was looking at high rain, hard rain, and the darkest skies. It was not even night, and but it seemed like night. It seemed very much like night, and I was going outside. I was just going outside whenever I had my awakening. I had to have my head clear. What am I seeing? Am I seeing the dragon? What am I seeing actually? That night I couldn't sleep for what I've seen. I had to go outside, and whenever the raindrops were falling on my hand, It was like I could even speak with it. I could speak with water, with the water that was going on my hand. There was a new ability awakened. A dragon awakening is not just about becoming like the dragon, but be one with your surroundings, being one with nature. A dragon spirituality is also a nature spirituality because the dragon is one with the elements. They are one with fire, earth, air, and water. They are all together. They are all one with it. And so whenever you are awakened, you will be much more sensitive to all of the elements of nature. Also, what you also have, my brothers and sisters, at that time of your awakening, it means that that time of year will be much more powerful in your connection with your dragon. And that is why every dragon celebration, a celebration should be every change of nature. Whenever there is change in nature, this should be our dragon holiday, a celebration, because it will affect your connection with your dragon. It will always affect your connection with your dragon. That is why sometimes there are times in year that you will feel the dragon less than the other time of year. And so also has to do with the weather. The weather is very important to keep an eye on, because whenever you are awakened you don't pay attention too much to it. You might not pay attention too much to it, but I paid attention to it. Whenever I had my awakening, which was a very difficult awakening, I was like having a hammer on my head, like immediately. And my dragons, it is like, yeah, like immediate. You have to be awakened. You have to. And that is also what happened. The dragon came going inside and touching something that I didn't even know that I had. I was an atheist. I didn't believe in spirits. I didn't believe in anything. I was very skeptical. And look at me now. I'm here as a dragon witch because of what I've seen there. Whenever there was rain, whenever there was the darkest skies, my dragon was there in greatest obscurity. But my dragon was also the light that I could see through my life. Then is what I ask all the time to my dragon: why are you here? Why do you come before me? Why do you do this? There was no answer, but I had to answer this question later on, because at that moment it just was important to be awakened, to be there, to connect with the dragon. And there was nothing else that I desired more to be with my dragon. I'm never, that is why, my brothers and sisters, I never ever force myself to do rituals. I never ever force myself to do anything for the dragon. If you do force yourself, what's the point of it? I've seen this with religions. In religions, they always have their schedule. You have to do like this. And even in Wicca, I've been inside of a Wicca community for just a second until I was sick and tired of it. Wicca was also simply a religion. You have to do. And now we stand up before the goddess Hecate. And I said, but that is not my goddess. I don't want to do that. You have to, because the great priestess said it. No, I am my own priest. I am the one, actually, who sets what is going to happen with myself. And that is also what you have, my brothers and sisters. You are your own boss. You are your own priest. You are your own Jesus. You are your own, because everything is happening to you. We are not a religion. Not at all. And we don't have a schedule to do anything. Whenever you are doing something, it must come from your desire, from your desire to want this for the dragon. Because you want this. You want this to happen. And also keep an eye on the weather, because that is very important, actually. That is why I don't say to you, my brothers and sisters, you have to use these words, you have to do that. No, I just recommend to you, my brothers and sisters, keep an eye on the weather, and also keep an eye on what you're feeling, what you're sensing. What is the power that is the greatest with you? Whenever there is that kind of weather, what do you feel? What do you feel in the rain? What do you feel in the wind? What do you feel when there is a lot of sun? What do you feel when there is snow? What do you feel when there is Yeah, wind, a lot of wind. I don't know. There can a lot of things happening inside of the of nature or inside of the weather, but it always affects your connection with your dragon. Always, always. And you have to find out what is the most powerful one with you. Not only the time of year, but also the weather. The weather is very important to know. And I have to say to my brothers and sisters, I wrote this in my book of Dragon Shadows. Whenever there is dark skies, whenever there is rain, it seems like I am one with the rain. It seems like my veins and my blood is talking to the rain, and my dragon as well. My dragon is talking through the rain. It's like the sound of the rain is dragon language. And that is what makes it so special, because I understand what the rain is saying. Oh, it's so difficult to explain it to you. The sound of the rain in the beginning when I was awakened, the what my dragon was saying to me in that specific language seems like the sound of rain, the sound of, the sound of rain. It's not really water, but whenever the rain is dropping, it's like that kind of thing. And I understood that language, and that makes it much more stranger. At that time I was so confused. Why do you understand that? And that is what we can all have. All of these things that we discover. And that I discovered when my connection with my dragon was the greatest. It was when the rain was falling, when the skies are dark, when there is a lot of clouds. For example, you can have your connection much better whenever there is a lot of sun, no clouds, or whenever there is also maybe rain, or maybe snow. Oh yes, snow dragon, an ice dragon. I had a rain dragon, you can say, and that you can also have the sun dragon, and that is why some people say, why do you say things like that? It's like a rain dragon. Yeah, that is because I understand the language of rain. I understand the language of my dragon. It's the same language. It's like, and then people are confused. Well, things like this I should keep for myself, because that is something that I cannot explain. The language of my dragon is the same language of what I've heard inside of the rain. And also, whenever there is dark skies, I feel so, yeah, so safe. Whenever there is a dark sky, most of the people say, oh my goodness, it's such a bad weather. But to me, I feel safe. I feel comfy. I feel connected with my dragon. And that is the moment. And that is why when I did my first dragon dance, it was in the greatest obscurity inside of the weather. But I was in trance simply because of that weather. The dragon is one with nature. The dragon is one with everything that nature does. And there is one specific moment in nature, or in time of year, also in the weather, that you will be much more connected to your dragon.